Hello guys, in this video we are going to see how to clean a data while using a data in a data science project. Normally data used for any data science projects will be collected from different sources, right? So there is a high chance that your data may have lot of duplicate values as well as missing values, right? So whenever you come across duplicate values, it is better to delete the duplicate value. Let it be a column or let it be a row. So those duplicate values has to be deleted, right? So coming on to the next thing, so we will discuss various methods for handling the missing values. Deleting rows is the first method of handling the missing values. When you come across a missing value, you can delete the entire row. Even you can delete a particular column. So if a column is having 70 to 70 percentage or more than 70 to 70 percentage of missing values, you can even drop that column. Okay, so these two methods can be done only when you have a large amount of data. So if you are having a data set with a very limited number of data, these two methods cannot be done, right? So the reason is deleting the rows or deleting the columns will lead to the loss of information. If you have a missing value in a particular row, so if you have a missing value in a particular column, if you delete the entire row, the information regarding to the other features will also get deleted, right? This will lead to loss of information. If your data set is having more than 30 percentage of missing value, and if you go with deleting rows, the model will not provide you accurate result. This method will not be preferred if you have missing values more than 30 percentage. Also, if you have limited number of, this method will not work better if you have a limited number of data in your data set, as well as if the amount of missing value is more than 30 percentage. The next thing is you can replace your missing value either with mean or median or mode. So if your data is not having any outlier, you can go with this mean. You can replace the missing value with the mean of the column. So if you are having outlier in your data, it's better to use median. The mean will not be providing a better result if you have outlier. So whenever you come across a data with outliers, you can replace the null value or missing value by the median of the column. Okay, so your data may have even categorical value features, right? So when you are coming across categorical features, and if you find any kind of missing values in the categorical features, you can replace the missing values using the mode of the particular feature. Mode is nothing but the most repeated value, most repeated categorical data of that particular feature. Okay, so even this approach can be used when your data size or data set is very small. When you are having a large amount of data, this method is not preferred. Okay, so the advantage of this method when compared to the previous method is, here you will not come across any information loss. You are replacing the value, null value, by means of mean, median or mode, right? So you are not deleting any information, right? So here you will not come across the information loss. Even you can assign a new category. So in case if you are coming across some missing values in the categorical data, for example in this data, this this column cabin represents the categorical value. So here the categorical values, you can find the missing values, right? So you can assign a new category to this missing value. You can replace this missing value by means of a new category. So in this example, a new category U is assigned to all these missing values. In the later step, you can even encode this new assigned categorical value. Even you can predict the missing value. So if, for example, if you have a data set with 4 different features and a particular feature is having missing value, so you can make use of those remaining three features, and you can predict the value of the missing values in the fourth feature. Okay, so you can make use of any kind of machine learning algorithm. You can even use linear regression for predicting the values. Okay, even some algorithms like KNN, distance based algorithms like KNN can be used for predicting the missing values. So whenever you replace the missing values, whenever you predict the missing values, so that particular model will be providing better accuracy. So in addition to this, you can even replace the missing value by any constant value. Now we will move on to the hands-on session. So I have taken a placement data, which is a CSV file. So this data is having the features named serial number, gender, 10th board, 12th board, stream, degree, MBA specialization, 10th percentage, 12th percentage, college percentage, employee test percentage, MBA percentage, overall percentage, number of records, work experience, salary offered, and placement status. So this data set is used for predicting whether a student will get placed or not placed based on this feature. How to clean this data and handle the missing values. So first let me import so I'm going to use the pandas library for performing all the data cleaning task. Okay. So first let me import the library pandas. So import pandas as PD. Okay, so it's a CSV file. So the next step is I have to read the CSV file, right? And read the file and create a data frame. So I'm naming my data frame as DF. So I have to make use of the command pd dot read underscore CSV of. So mention the name of the data set. So the name of the data set is placement. So placement dot CSV. Okay, so I have created the data frame. So let me check the head of the data frame. So I have this provides the top 5 rows of my data frame. So let's print the information of the data frame. So using df.info of, we can print the information regarding the data frame. So it says that we have 222 entries. So 222 rows in the data frame. Okay. So it provides the information regarding each columns in the data frame. So serial number is having 222 non-null entries, right? So gender. So totally we have 222 rows, but the gender column is having 215 entries. The meaning is, so it has null values. Similarly, 10th board, it is having only 217 entries. So definitely there is missing values in this particular column, right? Similarly, college percentage, it is having only 216 entries. MBA percentage is having only 210 entries. Overall percentage is having only 218 entries. So salary offered is having 153 entries. So all these columns will be having missing values. Okay. So now let's check whether the data is having any duplicates. So you can make use of this function duplicated. So duplicated of dot sum of will provide the total number of duplicates available in your data set. So it shows that the data set which I am using has 7. So 7 rows are duplicated in the data set which I am using. So I have to remove this duplicate at first, right? So I can make use of this function drop underscore duplicates of. So drop underscore duplicates of, and make sure you pass this function in place is equal to true. So in case if you are not providing this in place is equal to true, the result will not be reflected in your original data frame. So now let me check again whether my data frame is having any duplicates. So duplicated of dot sum of. Okay, so now it shows that the duplicates has been removed. So total number of duplicates in my data set is 0. So now let's see how to remove the null values. So let's check whether any null values are present in the data set. So df dot is null of dot sum of will be providing the total null values available in each columns. So serial number is having 0 null values, right? So your gender column is having 7 missing values or 7 null values. 10th board is having 5 null values. Similarly, college percentage is having 4 null values, right? MBA percentage is having 7 null values. Overall percentage is having 3 null values, and salary offered is having 67 null values. So now let's see how to handle this null values. Okay, so first method I am going to use is I am going to drop this null values. So deleting rows. Okay, so this is the first method which I am going. So before dropping this null values, I am going to create the copy of the original data frame. So I am going to work on this data frame df1. Okay, so now df1 is nothing but the copy of the data frame. So the data frame in which the duplicates has been removed. Okay, so you can make use of this function drop na of. So drop na of, make sure that you pass this in place is equal to true. Okay, now let me check the null values again. So df1 dot is null of dot sum of. Okay, so all the null values has been removed, right? So I have just directly deleted all the rows which is having the null values. So this is the first method of handling the null values. So whenever you have a large data set with large number of rows, okay, you can make use of this deleting rows. Okay, so we will see the next method, which is nothing but replacing the null value with mean, median, and mode. So let me create another copy of a data frame. So I'm taking naming the data frame as df2. So df2 equal to df dot copy of. Okay, so I am going to apply this mean median mode in this data frame df2. Okay, so moving back to the data frame. So data frame is having the categorical features like gender, 10th board. So these two categorical features are having the null values, right? So let's apply the mode of to this categorical variable gender. So the categorical features like gender, 10th board are having missing values, right? So I'm going to replace the missing values in gender using mode of function. So I'm going to work on this data frame df2. So df2 of gender. First, let's find the mode of this particular function. Sorry, particular column. So mode of. So this will return two values, right? So first thing is 0 followed by capital M. So this capital M is nothing but the mode of the particular feature. Okay, so if I want to return this capital N alone, I can make use of the indexing. So df2 of gender dot mode of 0 will provide you the mode of the particular feature. Okay, so I'm going to replace, now I'm going to replace the missing values in this particular column by means of this mode of function. So df2 of gender dot fill na of. So this fill na of function will fill the missing values using the function, using the values mentioned within this function. So I am going to use this mode of function. So now the missing values in the gender will be replaced by the mode of this particular column. So let me print the head. So let me print the top 10 rows. Okay, so now we can check the original data frame. So in the original data frame you had a missing value in the second row, right? So now in this data frame df2, the missing value has been replaced by m. M is nothing but the mode of this particular column, right? So this is how you replace a particular, missing value by means of mode of function. So now let's check the missing values available in the other numerical values. So if you just find this MBA percentage, overall percentage, and college percentage, as well as salary offered. So these are the numerical features, right? So you can find the missing values here. So I'm going to replace the missing value in the college percentage column by means of median function. So df2 of college percentage equal to df2 of college percentage dot, again make use of the function fill na of. So fill na of df2 of college percentage dot median of. So now let me print this. Now let me print the top 10 rows of the data frame. So head of 10. Okay. So let's check the original data frame. So in the original data frame, the college percentage is having a null value in the second row as well as fourth row, right? So now let me check this, the new data frame. So here the missing value in the second row and fourth row has been replaced by the median of this column, right? So it has been replaced by the value 66. Okay, so now let's replace the missing value in the numerical column MBA percentage. Okay, so I'm going to replace this MBA percentage missing values in the MBA percentage by means of mean of function. So I'm going to use the same data frame df2 of MBA percentage equal to df2 of MPA percentage. Again, make use of the same function fill NA of. So fill NA of df2 of MPA percentage dot mode of, sorry, dot mean of. So let me print the top 10 rows of the data frame. So let me check the original data frame. So in the original data frame, you can find the missing values in the third row and as well as fourth row, right? So in this new data frame, so third rows and fourth rows, the missing values has been replaced by the mean of this particular column, right? Now let's see how to assign a new category to the categorical features. So the categorical feature, so in our data set, this 10th board is nothing but a categorical feature. So the categorical feature is having 5 missing values, right? Let me assign a new category. So df2 of 10th board. So 10th board equal to df2 of 10th board dot fill NA of a new category. So I am assigning a new category named U. Okay. So let me print the top 10 rows. So head of. Okay. So in the original data, you can find. So in the fourth row, you can find the missing values, right? Let me check in the new data frame. Okay, so in the new data frame, the fourth row, then a missing value has been replaced by the new category. Okay, so this is how you assign a new category to the missing values in categorical data. So in later on, you can replace this categorical values into a numerical value by means of any kind of encoding. You can even replace the null values by means of any constant values, or you can make use of these functions, this techniques forward fill as well as backward fill. Okay. Now let's see how to use these techniques. Okay. So I'm going to create another data frame. So df3. So df3 is nothing but the copy of the data frame without duplicates. So the columns overall percentage and salary offered are having null values, right? So I'm going to use this overall percentage feature for demonstrating forward fill. So let's see how to do that. So df3 of overall percentage equal to df3 of overall percentage dot fill NA of, you can pass an additional parameter named method. So method is equal to fffill. Fffill represents forward fill. So this ffill should be enclosed within the double quotes. Okay. Now let me print this, print the head of the data frame. Okay. So let me check the original data frame. So in the original data frame, you have a missing value in the third row, right? So let me check the new data frame in which I have applied the forward fill. Okay. So you can find the third row has been replaced by the value of the previous row. So the forward fill technique, what it does is, so it will fill the missing values with the entry of the previous row. So here the third row was having the missing value, right? So that has been filled by the values of the second row. In case if some other row, so let me print the head of the data frame again, original data frame. Okay. So let me check the column overall percentage. Again, you can find the missing value in the row 7, right? So let me check the new data frame. So row 7. Okay. Again, the value of the previous row has been filled in the place of missing value. Okay. So this is how the forward fill method works. Whenever you find a missing value, the missing value of that particular row will be replaced by the value of the previous row. Okay. Another thing is this forward fill will not work if there is a missing value in the first row. Okay. So if you have the missing value in the first row, you cannot find any previous row, right? So in such scenario, this forward fill will not work. So now let's see how backward fill technique works. Okay. So for this, I'm going to consider this feature salary offered. Okay, so the salary offered feature is again having the missing value, 67 missing values, right? So let me see how this backward fill works. So df3 of salary offered, so S is capital. So salary offered is equal to df3 of salary offered dot fill na of, pass the parameter method, and within the double quotes pass bfill. So bfill in the sense backward fill. Okay, so let me print the head of the data. Okay, so let me check the original data. So in the original data frame, so this is your original data frame, right? So original data frame, you can find the missing values in this row, right? So it's row number 4. You can find the missing value in the row number 6, row number 7, right? So let's check what happened in the new data frame. Okay, so let's check the salary offered column. So here you can find the missing value in the fourth row, right? So the value of the fourth row has been replaced by the value of the next row, right? So backward fill technique works in this manner. So whenever you find a missing value, it will be replaced or it will be filled by the values in the next row. So this value will be filled in this previous row. Okay, again here you can find, so these two rows were having the missing values. Okay, so the value of this particular row is filled in these two rows. So it goes in the backward manner, right? So value of this particular row is filled in the previous rows. So this is how backward fill works. So this works in the opposite manner of forward fill. Okay. Another thing is, if you have the missing values in the last row, this backward fill method will not be effective in that manner, right? So if the last row is having missing value, it cannot fill the same value to the previous row, right? So this backward filling method fails when you have some missing values in the last row. So we have seen different techniques for handling the missing values. So now after completing this, we can store this data frame as a new file. You can store it either in an Excel file, or you can store this data either in a CSV file. Okay, so now I have created 3 different data frames, right? So first data frame is df1. So I am storing it as a CSV file. So the syntax used for storing the data frame as a CSV file is, mention the name of the data frame dot to underscore CSV, and within double quotes or single quotes mention the name of the file. Okay, so I am just naming this as dropping rows. Okay, the first method we have drop the rows, right? So dropping rows dot CSV. So once I do this, my file, a new file, so the data frame, the values of the data frame df1 will be stored as a new new CSV file dropping rows in the current working directory. So let me check the directory. So here I can find a CSV file named dropping rows, right? You can check these values. Okay, so next thing is, I'm going to store the data frame df2. So df2, I'm going to store it as an Excel file. So to underscore Excel of, so mean dot Excel sx. Okay, now I can find another data frame, right? So mean, an Excel file is created. Okay, so Excel file is created. So similarly, you can even store the data frame df3. Okay, so df3 to, again I'm saving it as an Excel CSV file. Okay, so I'm naming this as forward fill, ffill dot CSV. So I can find CSV file named ffill. That's all, guys. Thank you.